For centuries, olive oil has been more than just an ingredient. It has been a symbol of life itself. From the ancient groves of the Mediterranean to the bustling marketplaces of modern cities, this golden elixir has nourished civilizations, fueled economies, and even anointed kings. Its production is a ritual passed down through generations, a dance between nature and tradition. Yet today, something is amiss. The once plentiful liquid gold is slipping through our fingers, becoming an increasingly rare and expensive commodity. Consumers around the world are beginning to feel the sting. Shelves that once displayed an array of affordable olive oil bottles now present a harsh reality. Soaring prices, limited stock, and a growing sense that something fundamental has changed. But why? How did we get here? The answer is not simple. It is a story woven from the threads of climate change, economic upheaval, and shifting global demand. It is a cautionary tale of how a delicate balance between nature, human intervention, and global markets has been upended. To understand why olive oil has become so expensive, we must venture deep into the sun-scorched groves of Spain, the disease-stricken fields of Italy, and the boardrooms of global trade negotiations. Only then can we piece together the full picture of this unfolding crisis. The impact of climate change on olive harvests. The primary driver of soaring olive oil prices is climate change, which has caused devastating weather conditions in major olive-producing regions. Olive trees, while hardy, require a delicate balance of rainfall, temperature, and seasonal stability to produce optimal yields. Southern Europe, particularly Spain, Italy, and Greece, accounts for the majority of global olive oil production. Spain, the world's largest producer, typically contributes around 40 to 50% of the global supply. However, extreme weather events have significantly impacted harvests. In 2022 and 2023, Spain suffered from record-breaking heat waves, prolonged droughts, and below-average rainfall, leading to severe reductions in olive yields. Estimates suggest that Spain's olive oil production fell by nearly 50% in 2023 compared to previous years. Italy and Greece, while less affected than Spain, have also experienced unpredictable climate patterns. Unseasonal frosts, hailstorms, and shifting rain cycles have disrupted the traditional harvesting process. Italy, in particular, has been dealing with both droughts and excessive rainfall, creating further instability. In addition to erratic weather, olive groves in Italy, Spain, and Greece have been plagued by pests and diseases that have further reduced yields. A particularly devastating threat is the bacterium Xylella fastidiosa, which has ravaged olive trees in southern Italy, especially in Puglia, a region responsible for nearly 50% of Italy's olive oil production. This disease causes trees to dry out and die, and once infected, there is no cure. Xylella fastidiosa has already wiped out millions of olive trees, and its continued spread threatens to cripple Italy's olive oil industry in the coming years. Spain has also reported increasing issues with the olive fruit fly, a pest that thrives in warm temperatures and can decimate harvests if not properly managed. Rising global temperatures create a more favorable environment for such pests, making pest control efforts more costly and difficult. Supply shortages meet surging global demand. Despite declining supply, global demand for olive oil has been steadily increasing. Health-conscious consumers worldwide are embracing olive oil for its well-documented benefits, including its high content of monounsaturated fats, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory properties. Once primarily consumed in Mediterranean countries, olive oil is now a staple in many non-traditional markets, such as the United States, China, and India. As middle-class populations expand in these regions, so does their interest in healthier diets, leading to greater demand for high-quality olive oils. Additionally, the decline of sunflower oil production due to the Russia-Ukraine war has prompted many consumers and food manufacturers to switch to olive oil as an alternative. This shift has placed even greater strain on an already limited supply. As prices climb, retailers, distributors, and even individual consumers are stockpiling olive oil, anticipating further increases. In some cases, producers and wholesalers are holding back supply in hopes of selling at higher prices later, further exacerbating the shortage. In regions where olive oil is an integral part of daily cuisine, governments have even stepped in to regulate exports. For example, in 2023, Turkey imposed restrictions on olive oil exports to preserve domestic supply and keep prices stable for its citizens. These kinds of export limitations create ripple effects throughout the global market, pushing prices even higher. The Russia-Ukraine conflict and its ripple effects. The war between Russia and Ukraine has had a significant impact on the global agricultural market. While the primary disruption has been in grain and sunflower oil exports, the indirect effects have also hit the olive oil industry. With sunflower oil supplies constrained, many manufacturers and consumers have turned to olive oil as an alternative, increasing demand. Additionally, rising fuel and transportation costs have made it more expensive to distribute olive oil globally. The energy crisis in Europe, worsened by the conflict, has raised production costs for farmers and manufacturers, contributing to the final price that consumers pay. Inflation has driven up the costs of labor, fertilizers, transportation, and packaging. Olive oil production is labor-intensive, particularly for extra virgin varieties that require careful handpicking and processing. With rising wages and energy costs, producers are forced to pass these expenses on to consumers. Furthermore, the cost of materials such as glass bottles and tin containers has increased, adding to the overall price. Some producers have attempted to offset these costs by selling in bulk or switching to alternative packaging. But these solutions are not always feasible for premium brands. The rise of fraud and adulteration. With prices surging, the olive oil industry is facing a growing problem: fraud. The high value of extra virgin olive oil has incentivized unscrupulous practices, including diluting pure olive oil with cheaper alternatives, such as soybean, palm, or rapeseed oil. Some suppliers mislabel lower quality olive oils as extra virgin to justify higher prices. These fraudulent activities not only deceive consumers, but also undermine trust in the industry. Regulatory bodies and food safety organizations are increasing efforts to test and certify olive oils, but ensuring authenticity remains a challenge. What lies ahead? The olive oil industry is exploring ways to mitigate the effects of climate change and stabilize supply. Some farmers are investing in drought-resistant olive tree varieties, while others are adopting more sustainable farming practices to improve yields despite unpredictable weather. Technology is also playing a role, with some producers using artificial intelligence and data analytics to optimize irrigation, detect diseases early, and reduce waste. However, these solutions require significant investment and time to implement. Will olive oil remain a luxury? Many experts predict that olive oil prices may remain high for the foreseeable future. Unless global production stabilizes, consumers may have to accept that olive oil is transitioning from an everyday grocery item to a premium product. The skyrocketing price of olive oil is a stark example of how climate change, global economics, and shifting consumer behavior intersect. What was once a symbol of abundance is now a cautionary tale of fragility in our food systems. Whether prices will eventually stabilize remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: the golden age of affordable olive oil may be behind us.